I rolled my eyes and leaned against the tree trunk, not bothering to reply. Shiro padded to my side and placed his massive head on my knee. I scratched his ear, reveling in his familiar, steadying presence. I bet she took them out of the basket because they were the wrong color or something, and she forgot. Don't you think so, Shiro? Shiro woofed at me and gently tugged on my jacket with his fangs, ushering me to get up and play with him. Shiro, now is not the time to play, I told him. Come on. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare give me the eyes. Shiro ignored my request and proceeded to do just that, staring at me with a pleading expression that made my resistance crumble. All right, but just so you know, if you get yourself dirty, mister, you're taking a bath. I picked up a stick, threw it, and smiled as I watched Shiro bound after it with enthusiasm. I'd had him for a little over 3 years, since he'd been only a puppy the size of my fist. I'd found him after the homeless man incident, abandoned and almost freezing in a box, and to this day, I had yet to identify his breed. The vet claimed he was some kind of German Shepherd Husky mix, but I couldn't always see the resemblance. Half the time, Mom just called him a wolf, although that wasn't accurate either. I had abandoned all attempts to identify him in any other way except my Shiro. He'd saved my life on more than one occasion. Even if he wasn't a trained dog, he still sensed my seizures and knew to warn me that something would happen, so that I wouldn't fall over in a dangerous place and do more damage to myself. It also helped that once he'd grown into his current size, everyone interested in bullying me had found other hobbies. He was my best friend, and without him, I probably wouldn't have been able to survive high school with my sanity intact. As such, I was naturally inclined to indulge him. The end result was that he'd ended up quite a brat. I was good at plenty of things, but not spoiling my dog didn't make the list. Shiro knew it. It took about 10 more seconds for him to make my resistance crumble. It was a little irresponsible and childish of me to go play with Shiro while my parents were preparing the picnic. But hey, it was my birthday. I could afford to celebrate, even if only through something simple. Truth be told, it was the simple things I'd always found most comforting and reassuring. I enjoyed being in this small forest with my family, feeling the breeze pass through my hair, so refreshing and different from the scent of the city. I enjoyed throwing around a stick for Shiro and seeing him respond with such joy. Later, I would certainly enjoy eating my mother's delicious cooking and reading a good book in the shade of a tree. Maybe these weren't remarkable, celebratory activities, but I didn't need anything more. It was probably a good thing, because throwing wild parties or visiting more exciting venues could have led to me having a seizure, which was something I sought to avoid. So far, everything was going well. The sun was shining. My parents had yet to start bickering over nonsense. I didn't have a migraine. There was no need to dwell on things I couldn't change and spoil my enjoyment. It would have been difficult to hold on to any kind of negative feelings anyway when faced with the determination of a certain dog. He rushed back to my side, holding the stick in his mouth. He dropped it at my feet and looked up at me, looking very proud of himself. "Yes, thank you," I told him with a snicker. "You did very well. Do you want me to throw it again?" Shiro woofed and wagged his tail in response. At such moments, I could have sworn he really understood what I was saying, and I could almost understand him in turn. "Okay, you pest," I told him. "Let's see how fast you are this time." I threw the stick again, and Shiro shot after it like a bullet. I watched him go with a smile, his white fur standing out in the tall grass like a beacon. "Lissa!" my mother called out again.